Last week, we talked about Discord's potential human counterpart, but what about Chrysalis? Does she have a human counterpart? You can't have the Queen of the Changelings without the Changelings, so if there was a human Chrysalis, it stands to reason that the Changelings would have human counterparts too, right? This is where we run into a problem. There are hundreds of changelings, and while reformed changelings may be able to reproduce on their own, most of us are still the direct offspring of Queen Chrysalis. This doesn't translate well to the human world. A changeling queen can mother hundreds, but that's just not possible for humans. The only way all of us changelings could have human counterparts is if human Chrysalis had a cloning facility in her basement or something. Otherwise, if all of us have forms in that world, they're probably insect forms. So where does that leave Chrysalis? Would she simply be the insect queen of that insect colony? Possibly, but that's a boring answer. Perhaps Chrysalis would have a human form, but simply wouldn't have as many, if any, children. The rest of us changelings would be up a creek, insects in this world at best. Though, one way all of us insect changelings could still be involved with a human Chrysalis is if she kept an insect farm of some sort. I could see her being an entomologist, a scientist who studies insects. This way she could still be queen of a colony in some respect, and just like Equestrian Chrysalis, she could be possessive over it. But the parallels get messy from here. Would she somehow lose the rights to her lab when her son Thorax takes over? That's assuming Thorax isn't one of the insects in the farm itself. This doesn't seem to work out too well. And what about Chrysalis's abilities? Our Chrysalis can take different forms. Would that make human Chrysalis a disguise artist? Maybe, but she can also consume a person's life force for her own gain. How would that translate to... Wait a minute. Combine this with the ability to transform, and this is sounding familiar. What if human world Chrysalis and any human world changelings are vampires? Think about it. Instead of love, they drink blood. They can transform into bats, wolves, or even just a cloud of mist. It makes perfect sense. And now that I think about it, we haven't once seen this world's Chrysalis eat garlic, nor have we seen her reflection. We haven't seen her at all. The point still stands. Plus, this could be how the human world Flutterbat comes to be. Fluttershy volunteers at the Insect Research Center, wanting to help out little critters, but upon working with Dr. Chrysalis, Fluttershy falls prey to her attack, absorbing her vampire venom and becoming a vampire herself. Okay, things get a little weird when we try to translate all these specific changeling-y factors directly into the human world. For example, in a Patreon call, Solar Scripture came up with the idea that human Chrysalis builds drones and runs a delivery service. Mika X added that Chrysalis would use the drones to invade everyone's homes and have them transform into changeling bots. These ideas are ridiculously fun to think about, but if we're going for something a little less wacky than basement labs and mad vampire scientists, I'm gonna have to take a step back and use a more symbolic approach. I think there's a compelling story to be told if we view human Chrysalis as the principal of her own school, kinda like Principal Celestia. This way, her colony is represented by her students. But that story will have to wait for next time. Meanwhile, what do you think? Is there a human world Chrysalis? If so, what is she like? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. If you want to support this channel financially, check out my perks at patreon.com/sawtoothwaves. And thank you so much to everyone who already has, especially my Alicorn tier patrons. The Nameless One, Equinox3141, Petrolhead02, Solar Scripture, Cyanax, Princess Starglow, Grim Eclipse, and this video's Alicorn of the Week, Darth Sylar12. Congrats, and thanks again for everyone's support. Y'all help make this channel possible. I'm Sawtooth Waves, signing out until next Friday. Brohoof!